What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show. My name's Kyle. Tonight, Thursday night, we have a football game kicking off in about 45 minutes. The San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. Hopefully, you got a couple players in there, but hopefully not too many. Maybe Christian McCaffrey, maybe a Seahawk receiver. Questions on Kenneth Walker, we'll answer those. But what we're going to do is we're going to hop into a screen share, and we're going to kind of go over all of the player news that came out today. There's a lot of things that we got to check in on. And of course, we'll answer any questions you guys have in the chat room. There is links in the description if you guys want to follow along with the start sit charts. But yeah, let's get right into it. Good evening to Bill. Hope you're doing well. We got Justin. Yeah, it's a huge week, man. It's the first round. We're muted. Are we good? Can we hear me now? Muted. Might be these new headphones I got. Can't hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. Can we hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. Audio. Testing. Are we good? Can I get a thumbs up? Are we good? Can you hear me? What's going on here? Testing 1, 2, 3. We good? We're good. All righty. Let's get into it. Good evening to Dustin and Justin. Any chances of the Seahawks slowing down McCaffrey? I think. Okay, not bad. The chances of slowing down McCaffrey, I think it has more so to do with it's all going to be about Brock Purdy. They're not going to want Purdy, gaining chunk play. So I think really they're going to kind of sit back and basically make McCaffrey be the guy. I think there is a chance. Seattle's got their backs against the wall. It's in Seattle. Seattle's fighting for their playoff lives. So I do think there is an opportunity for them to play their best game that they've played in a long time. We haven't seen Seattle play well for a couple of weeks. You have Kenneth Walker back. Geno Smith, man, fighting for the playoffs. I think there's a chance they slow McCaffrey down tonight a little bit. You got to expect McCaffrey to get his touchdown. You got to expect some of the receivers to make some big plays for Seattle. And it's really going to be, can Brock Purdy not turn the ball over, or can he continue doing what he's doing against Tampa? So good evening. Audio good, awesome. Let's see, we're all in here. Chris Moore or Moore? Is that DJ Moore? I'm pretty sure DJ Moore got a full day of practice in again today. Let's actually look at that. I'm going to go to the practice reports here. I know DJ Moore got a full day of practice in yesterday. He's trending towards playing. Looks like back-to-back full practices, so he's in play. The Jets Moore, okay. Jets Moore, I'm going to go with Elijah Moore in this one. I like the matchup against the Lions. I do think Mike White's on track to play. He basically said he's going to play today, so I trust Mike White. I trust Elijah Moore to get a handful of targets in a game where the Lions, they score points. We'll see if the Jets can stop them, but I like Chris Moore. I don't trust the Texans, man. It's the first round of the playoffs. I know Elijah Moore hasn't been trustworthy, but I'm going to lean Elijah Moore. Aaron Jones or Elliott, half PPR. I'm leaning towards Aaron Jones at home. Aaron Jones's home splits are pretty damn good. I don't think Aaron Donald's going to play. Ezekiel Elliott has got a good matchup against the Jags, but I'm going to lean ceiling there with Aaron Jones. I think he's the guy you want. Pick 2 out of these 5 for flex. We'll see those in a second. Amari Cooper or Rashad White, non-PPR. In a non-PPR setting, I'm usually going to lean with the running back. And Amari Cooper, not 100% in this one. He did get a limited practice in today, so that is good news on Amari Cooper. Where is Mr. Cooper? Down here. So DNP limited, so it's going to be good. He's in the game. But I'm thinking Rashad White's probably the guy that we want to get in the lineup. Singletary or Mostert. So both these guys are in the same game. I think with Singletary, you have to deal with James Cook, Naheem Hines. With Mostert, I don't think Jeff Wilson's going to play. I'm more comfortable, I think, playing Raheem Mostert in this one just because I know he's going to be on the field more. It's more of an opportunity kind of thing where touches, snaps, routes. I'm going to trust Raheem Mostert there. And I think so that the Buffalo weather does not look good. Pull it up here. So, they got a snow warning right now. They're going to get hit over the next day or so. But on Saturday night, mostly cloudy with snow showers around the evening. Chances of snow 50%. I saw anywhere from 1 to 2 to 3 inches on Saturday here. So it's going to be a pretty crappy game And the Dolphins, man, they don't really get an opportunity to play in the snow very much. So I'm a little bit nervous about the Dolphins and their passing offense. I think Mostert's probably the safe play. Bam Knight or DeAndre Swift. The Detroit Lions, man, one of the best teams against the running back of late. So I'm just going to go to FF today and show you what we're looking at. What's cool is you can filter by last 3 weeks, and I'm going to hit PPR. The Lions, the second best team. They've only allowed 12 points per game to the running backs over the last 3 weeks. Over the last 5, if we hit that filter, they're still number 2. They're allowing about 12 points per game here. So not a great matchup for Bam Knight. I'd rather attack the Lions with the passing weapons and DeAndre Swift. I know he didn't have a great game against the Vikings, but I still think he's got a good chance at a touchdown. I would rather lean with DeAndre Swift and his receptions. Rashad White or Patterson non-PPR. I'm very skeptical on Desmond Ridder. I'm going to lean Rashad White here. Punishment night for ETN. Wow. I've gotten so many ETN questions this weekend, and I think there's a good reason to be nervous about Travis Etienne. But I was looking at Fantasy Pros earlier before the show, just to kind of see where they had some of these guys ranked. They have ETN as a top 16 back. They have him as a B ranking here, 13 points in a PPR league. He has not been playing well, but Zonovan Knight, he's been playing well, but he's got this really tough matchup against Detroit. I'm not sure how that matchup's going to go. I think the Jags-Cowboys game has potential to be a really fun, high-scoring game. You can see 48.5 points implied in that game, so that could favor some ETN touches. And I know we're not really having a lot of recent production in the last couple weeks, but I think I got to lean with ETN right now. Raheem Mostert or Lazard. In a full PPR, I'll go with Alan Lazard. It is going to be colder. Green Bay's got some rough weather coming up on Monday night here. But Lazard's got just as good of a touchdown odds as Raheem does. He's going to catch 3, 4, 5 passes. And in a PPR, I'm going to lean towards the wide receiver. I wanted to look and see what his numbers were for tonight. But he seems to be right around that 100-yard mark. I can see him getting like 100 to 110 total purpose yards. And then it's all about that touchdown. He's got to get that touchdown. Pick 2 out of the 5 for flex. Walker, Deontay, Burks, Palmer, Mike Evans. So Kenneth Walker's probably been the most popular question of the week, actually. And I'm looking at what Fantasy Pros has for him. Where is he? He's down here at RB30. So admittedly, this is not a great matchup for Kenneth Walker. If we look at the fantasy points allowed, the 49ers are one of the best teams. They are the best team against the running back. They've only allowed 5 touchdowns. So 5 touchdowns in 13 games. That's a pretty bad, that's a less than 50% chance for a touchdown. He's also coming back from an ankle injury. But if you need 2 of these guys for the flex, I don't think Treylon Burks plays. I don't think you want to trust Deontay Johnson either, because Deontay Johnson popped up on the report here. Let's look at that. So I'm reading Deontay Johnson as DNP on Thursday, which is not great. So he's in question. I think the guy that I really like here is Josh Palmer. Josh Palmer had himself a pretty good week last week, and he's going to get the Tennessee Titans, and we know the Titans can't defend wide receivers. I think Palmer's probably safe for 10 to 12 PPR points in this one. So I like Palmer, and then I'm probably going to roll out Mike Evans, I guess. I think Mike Evans has a floor of about 8 to 10 points. I know he hasn't been playing well, but man, he is due for some touchdowns. So I'm going to lean Mike Evans and Josh Palmer, and we'll go from there. I'm not in love with Kenneth Walker tonight. I know he's probably going to get his touches, but I do expect the Seahawks to have to throw the ball tonight, and that could be nice for Kenneth Walker. If you want to get Walker in there and make a decision later, I would say Walker, Palmer, Mike Evans. Those are the 3 I'm looking at. Is Mostert or Jet McKinnon a player to consider straight over Swift? I'll go with Jerick McKinnon. The dude's been balling lately. Great on paper, it's the best matchup. One of the best matchups against the Texans here. So it's a great matchup. As long as he can get a handful of receptions and get a handful of carries, got a good chance at hitting your 7 to 10 points. And if he gets a touchdown, that's what's going to make him boom. So I'll go with Jerick McKinnon over Swift and Mostert. And what is Russ' health going into this week? So Russ practiced today. I have him listed here as limited, Mr. Limited in practice here after DNP tomorrow. So he's on track to play. The problem is no Cortland Sutton, no Kendall Hinton. So not great for Russ's overall outlook, but we like Jerry Jeudy and the like that. So and then the backfield is it does look like Marlon Mack has potential to kind of take away some of the Latavius Murray workload. I still like Latavius Murray to lead the team in carries and be the goal line and short yardage back there. But I do think there's potential for Marlon Mack to carve out a couple snaps, get some third down work. And after that touchdown he had last week, that catch and run, I do think Marlon Mack's going to be a little bit more involved with Mike Boone out. So it's still probably 65% towards Latavius Murray, but you're going to see Marlon Mack a little bit more on Sunday. Drake McKinnon or Patterson non in half PPR. Non PPR, you probably got to go with Patterson. Half PPR, I'll go with McKinnon. DK has 80 receptions. Oh, okay. So they're giving him 120 all-purpose yards and 4.5 catches. It's interesting with no Debo. I expect McCaffrey to get his touches. So I'm probably taking the over on the 4.5 and probably the over on the 39.5. The rushing I'm unsure of, but I like the receiving numbers tonight. Good evening to Ron. Need to start one at Superflex. Mac Daddy, Desmond, Chris Moore, or Njoku. I'm going with Njoku. It probably feels weird to go a tight end in that spot there, but I do like Njoku. Njoku was balling in that. It was October 20 something where they played the Ravens. Njoku had like 7 for 71 at the beginning of the third quarter, and then he had his ankle injury, and that's what's been kind of hobbling him the last couple of weeks. But it's a great matchup for Njoku. I think you're probably locking in a 10 to 12 point floor, and if he continues from last week, man, we've got a good chance for a huge game. So personally, I like Njoku. Otherwise, I don't mind Chris Moore. Chris McCaffrey's scoring tonight. We can cut Greg Dortch. We're not going to need him now that Murray's gone. And you have Fournette, by the way. Interesting. Excuse me. I don't know if I've ever sneezed on camera before. But yeah, I'm still going to go with Njoku in that question. I do want to open up some of the practice reports and get some of these rolling. It looks like Jacoby Myers is on track to play. He got a limited practice in there, so he's going to be wide receiver 3 flex worthy. No DJ Dallas tonight. Kenneth Walker is active. I think in the questions that we got tonight, just Thursday nights, man, they've been complete crap. Lately this season. It's not been fun to have a Thursday night player in. I'll just be honest with that. So it's a lower scoring game. It's his first game back. I don't blame you if you want to bench him and see what you got. What's his ceiling? Is he going to go out and destroy tonight? I don't think we're going to see a huge game from him. It's literally if he gets the touchdown, that's going to make or break it. So you're probably looking at 8 to 10 point as a floor. If he gets that touchdown, that's what's going to put him in the 15 to 17 point range. And he's my only tight end. I love Njoku though. And you have Fournette, by the way. I'm okay with Leonard Fournette. He does have Leonard Fournette has the passing down role still in his back pocket. You're going to see Rachaad White lead the team in carries though. It's probably like a 12 to 15 carry day for Rachaad White and maybe 4 to 7 carries for Leonard Fournette. That's how they've been operating the Bucs backfield. So again, Jacoby Myers probably going to play. Damian Harris has a chance to play in this one. He's back-to-back days with limited practices. Devontae Parker probably not going to play with that concussion. Looks like Josh Jacobs, kind of wear and tear limited practice type day for him. Not sure what's up with Aaron Jones and his ankle, but he's limited. He's going to play. I feel fine about him playing. Kadarius Toney limited. We're not going to trust Kadarius Toney in the first round of the playoffs. Again, Kendall Hinton and Cortland Sutton both not practicing. If you need a tight end, Harris, Juwan Johnson, he might be a guy for you. They're playing Atlanta. I'm not sure how Atlanta is against the tight end position. They're pretty bad. They've allowed a lot of receptions and a lot of yards, only 3 touchdowns. But Juwan Johnson coming back into the fold is interesting. So if you needed to add someone, I don't hate Juwan Johnson. He had been playing well before the bye week. Mike White's going to start. He did say that he's going to be playing through it. Corey Davis, we're not going to expect Corey Davis in the lineup this weekend, so that's why we're getting Elijah Moore questions. You're starting Garrett Wilson. I think this is the Garrett Wilson like wide receiver 2 kind of ranking type week here. But Elijah Moore, all of a sudden catching 6 passes for 60 yards, he's going to be entering a lot of people's discussions. Tyler Boyd, the fact that he talked to reporters today is a pretty good sign that he's going to play. So I expect Tyler Boyd to play, but we're not sure on T. Higgins yet. He had that hamstring injury last week. I'm skeptical on him. I'm probably going to get a lot of Higgins questions at some point, either today, tomorrow, or Saturday. So it's a 50-50 shot on T. Higgins. We have decisions to make by Saturday, so hopefully we get something more substantial tomorrow on a report. Ryan Tannehill full practice. Mike White or Prescott. I'm going to lean with Prescott. I get it with Mike White. He's got a really good spot against the Lions, but I really don't. I think you gotta go with the Cowboys offense right now. They're playing so well. And that Jags game, the Jags and the Cowboys, 48.5 implied points in that one. On the Jets game, there's about 44, which is still a pretty good total, but I think we got to probably go with the Cowboys in this one. They're almost going to score 26, 27 points. So that's where I'll lean with Dak Prescott in that one. Let's get back to the news. Traylon Burks trending towards doubtful. He's not practicing on back-to-back days after missing last week's game with a concussion. So that's not a good sign. He might be out again. And then the big benefactor of this is going to be the rookie tight end Okonkwo. If you need a tight end, I do like Okonkwo if Burks can't go. Good to see Tyreek Hill not on the report with the ankle injury. Jeff Wilson probably not going to play. They listed him as questionable. He got some limited stuff in here, but he's probably not going to play. And even if he plays, we're not going to start him. It's good to see Saquon Barkley not on the injury report. Trevor Lawrence back at practice limited. Can't trust Chase Claypool. Justin Fields back at practice. Ramondre Stevenson's an interesting one. He didn't practice today for the second straight day. If he practices tomorrow, he has a chance. Maybe they're just being cautious with him. But if he does not play, I expect Damien Harris to be able to play this weekend, and then you're probably going to see Pierre Strong as the pass-catching back. The way that I view this backfield is Damien Harris is he's their main running back, and then Kevin Harris is his backup. So Harris to Harris, and then Ramondre Stevenson is their pass-catching back, and Pierre Strong is his backup. So you're probably still going to see two running backs used, whether it's Damien Harris and Pierre Strong, or if Ramondre can go or not. Foreman or Rashad. I kind of like Foreman. I know Chuba Hubbard kind of turned his head last week and got some opportunity. As far as matchups go, it's an okay matchup here against the Steelers. I don't love it. Foreman's okay, and typically in times like this, Ryan, I will say I want the guy that's going to get the opportunity. I want the guy with the most touches. If this is PPR, I'm going to go with Rachaad White. He's going to get more catches in the backfield. He's going to lead the team in carries. Foreman doesn't really catch passes, so I think it's easy for me to go with Rachaad White in this one. And yeah, I mean, this time of year, a lot of my questions, I'm going to be like, okay, which running back is going to have more touches? And those touches, especially if you're in a PPR format, if you can start a running back that's going to get 3-4 targets, that's probably where you want to end up going. What do you think about ETN production for the playoffs? Is he trustworthy as an RB2? He is not. He is not trustworthy, but he's in a good offense. He's one of those guys that just kind of goes with what I just said. He gets opportunity. He's going to lead the team in carries. He's going to get opportunity to catch passes. He's been a pretty good back for most of this year. He's had a couple hiccups. Two of the last 3 games have been pretty bad. I mean, if he hits a 9, we're okay with that. But these yards per carry, 17 attempts against Tennessee. Like, Tennessee is one of the best defenses in the league stopping the running back. So is Detroit. So the fact that he was able to muster up 9 points against Detroit and only 3.2 against the Titans, it sucks. But it does tell me that they're going to give him the ball. I think you could potentially see him, get upwards of 20 touches in this one, whether that's, 15, 18 carries and 2, 3, 4 catches. I want to trust Travis Etienne against the Cowboys because you can run the ball on the Cowboys. So I think we should be playing Etienne this week. Do you like the T for the Texans? Not really. Is it Brevin Jordan? Is it Brevin Jordan lately that's been the tight end? I'm really not sure. I think it's Brevin Jordan lately. I mean, if you can, if you have to, it's fine. It's not an ideal situation. I have him as, I don't know who we're talking about here, Harris. I don't know if I want to trust the Texans tight end. There's really nothing on here that I like. I have Jeff Wilson, Rashad White as well, but not sure which to use next week and beyond. I have by this week to start to play. Okay. Um, well, one thing that I like to tell people is let's go one day at a time, 1 week at a time. You are on bye, so you should enjoy it. You should take the stress and say, get out of here. You earned a first round bye, my man. We should be chilling. We should be, excited to watch your team this weekend and evaluate, because you get an advantage here. You get an extra week to watch your guys. No sweat, no worries, and then we get to make these decisions next week. I do think Travis Etienne is probably going to be. I would like to think he's going to get his touches, upwards of 15 to 20 touches this weekend. He should be able to produce against the Cowboys. We might be feeling a little bit more optimistic about him, but right now, I mean, Etienne, Rashad White, Jeff Wilson. That's how I'd rate these running backs right now. Higbee's okay. Higbee's going to get opportunity. I think I still prefer the other tight end there, Harris. Who's your only tight end? Is that isn't a joke? Who's your only tight end, Harris? But I don't remember. I asked for Geodice. So I do a little bit. I like to take a little bit of a couple weeks off after the regular season for fantasy football. But I'm going to start putting out some fantasy content and doing some dynasty shows and talking about the rookies and the incoming things. And we could do some dynasty live streams as well. I'm going to try and get some guests lined up too. So I do plan on ramping up my dynasty content. So we'll get we'll get some more stuff out there for you guys. Greg. Who's Greg? Greg Dortch isn't a tight end. Right? That's who it was. You said Greg Dortch? Greg Dortch is a slot receiver. Appreciate you. No problem, man. I appreciate you hanging out with you've been out here with a lot of videos, so I appreciate anyone that likes to hang out and talk football and get the comments in there. So it's a lot of fun hanging out with you guys and starting to know some of you guys. So it's cool. But Harris, my man, if you can pick up a tight end this week here, let's go to ESPN and see if we can find a dirty tight end for you. TE for Broncos. Greg Dulcich. Okay. Yeah. So I was thinking Greg Dortch. Greg Dulcich is fine. Yeah, keep rolling out Greg Dulcich. You have a decent tight end there. Good evening to Aiden. What's going on, my man? Get your questions in here. We'll hang out live for another maybe 10 minutes or so. I'm just going to hit refresh on my players' feeds and continue to give you guys some of the news. Kenny Pickett practicing today. That's good news. Limited practice on Thursday. Najee Harris, he didn't practice yesterday, but he's on track to play now with a full practice. So that's clearly just a day of rest yesterday. No Lamar, but Huntley's going to play. What do we do with Pat Freiermuth? Freiermuth told ESPN that he expects to play in Week 15, but we will see. Back-to-back DNPs do not give me a lot of confidence, so we'll see. But I'm open to Freiermuth being available. We also have to watch Deontay Johnson, so the entire Steelers offense is in flux. We'll see about that. No David Bell. I'm going to assume Jeff Wilson's going to sit, and then Richie James is back for the Giants. Great news for Aaron Rodgers in the Packers passing game. Romeo Doubs is expected back. And what are we talking about, Aiden? Kenny Pickett or Purdy? That's tough. I don't know if Pickett's going to play yet. I know he's gotten some limited practices in here, but I think you probably got to if those are your only options, you probably got to take the Purdy. I mean, it's very nice to see back-to-back practices. Well, where are we? Philadelphia. It's fantastic to see back-to-back limited practices for Pickett. I love to see that. Doesn't mean he's going to play though, so I think you're kind of playing with fire if you hold out hope. I do think Purdy can be good for a touchdown or two tonight, so I think it's a safe floor. Let's see. Should I use Brandon Ayuk tonight? I also have Olave, Davis, Watson, McWilliams. I'm worried it may be a little screen defense. What do you think? I mean, Mike Williams is the best receiver of this group. I want Mike Williams in that lineup. Davis. Who's Davis? Is that Gabe Davis? I like Gabe Davis the least. If I'm going to rank these guys, I'm going to rank them as Mike Williams, Watson, Olave, Ayuk. Those are the top four. You got to get Mike Williams in the lineup for sure. He's got the best matchup against the Tennessee Titans, and he's back and healthy, and he just looks magnificent. So we love that. But anyways, again, Mike Williams. I like Brandon Ayuk, but man, it's so hard to trust. Not only is it Thursday Night Football, but we're trusting Brock Purdy in the first week of the playoffs. That's kind of scary. If you have to sit Ayuk, I'm okay with it because I like Olave, I like Watson, I like Mike Williams. These guys are all fine options. So I don't think we're going to go out and see Brandon Ayuk, go 8 catches for 119 yards and 2 touchdowns or something like that. So I think Olave, Watson, Mike Williams are your top 3 plays. Oh yes, and Tutu Atwell. We'll see. Tutu's looked pretty good the last couple of weeks. It sounds like he's turning the corner. Hunter Henry or Cole Kmet. I'm going to go with Cole Kmet. It sounds like Chase Claypool's not going to play. So they don't really have a true number 1 wide receiver. Even Claypool's not even a number 1 receiver to begin with. But I think you want to go with Kmet. You want to attach yourself to Justin Fields. The opportunity in that game for the Bears offense is kind of exciting because we expect the Eagles to score points, which should mean Justin Fields might have to pass more than we've seen him pass. So I'm going to say Cole Kmet over Hunter Henry is a pretty good play. Let me see. So again, we're expecting Russell Wilson to play. The fact that he got limited in is pretty good. Antonio Gibson limited. Not sure what's going on with that. It says that his status is not in doubt. So maybe they're just being cautious with these running backs the first couple of days because Brian Robinson was also limited. So we'll watch that. But both guys are going to play. I'd rather play Brian Robinson than Gibson. Tyler Huntley officially clearing protocol. Great news for Dallas Goedert and Jalen Hurts. Things are trending in the right direction for him to play Week 15. Tight end is so bad this year that even if he doesn't play his full snaps and his full workload that he usually does, I'm still probably going to play Dallas Goedert unless you have, you'd have to have a David Njoku or something behind him that would make me hesitate there. But I'm probably going to lean towards getting Goddard in the lineup. Again, Amari Cooper practiced, and I think that pretty much brings us back to full circle here. I'm going to go with Antonio Gibson. I like Ritter, but first week of the playoffs, my man, I'm going to go with Gibson. I'm going to collect those 8 to 10 points. If Gibson pops off for a touchdown, that's where it's at. I'm going to take the safety net of Gibson. I trust him to be involved in that offense and look good doing so against the Giants. Giants defense is reeling, by the way. The Giants defense not a great stopper right now. Let me actually go to look at the fantasy points allowed over the last 5 weeks here. The New York Giants. Giants are a bottom 5 team against the run. They're allowing 30 points to the running back. So if you take Brian Robinson, Antonio Gibson, and say, sure, Robinson will get 16, Gibson 14 or something like that, and just give those 30 points and divide it up any which way, I think you want Gibson in your lineup because the Giants given up 8 rushing touchdowns in the last few weeks here. So if I hit the last 3, it's probably even worse. That's a little bit better for the Giants, but still not a great matchup. It's a great matchup. My bad. Great matchup for the Commanders running backs. But anyways, if you guys got any more questions, file them in. I'm going to get out of here in a couple minutes. I will say tomorrow I plan on going live. Probably, I'm not sure what time yet, but I'll load that up in there. But it'll be tomorrow evening. And then I'm not sure what to do on Saturday. We have games all day on Saturday. I might do a quick mini live show during the day on Saturday, and then maybe something before the nightcap. I'm not sure. So I'll have 2 streams on Saturday for you guys, and then the Sunday stream as well. Caden Luke, what's going on? Start 2 half PPR. Ayuk, Watson, Pittman, Kirk. Start 2 half PPR. I'm leaning towards Watson and Christian Kirk being your best guys. I think either way, though, I'm fine with. We're gonna let Brandon Ayuk sit tonight. I'm not super excited about Brandon Ayuk. I am excited about Watson against the Rams. I'm excited about Christian Kirk against the Cowboys in the slot. Even Michael Pittman Jr.'s got a great matchup against the Vikings. So I think we're gonna hold on getting Ayuk in the lineup tonight. If I had to rank these guys. I'm probably going to rank them as Kirk, Watson, Pittman, and then Ayuk. So I hope that helps. I could use Jamal Williams in a flex or Rashad White instead of Ayuk and go with Mike Williams, Olave, and Watson. I also have Josh Palmer. I could use Jamal Williams in a flex or Rashad White and sit Ayuk. I'm leaning towards Rashad White being your guy. We can sit Ayuk unless you really wanted to get if you really wanted to get a player in there tonight. I'm fine with it. But I'm leaning towards Rashad White being a healthier play. He's kind of a lock for those 15 to 20 touches that we talked about. I feel pretty good about those numbers. Mike Williams, Olave, Watson, those guys remain your top 3 receivers. I do like Palmer this week, but not over Williams. Olave, and Watson have such bigger ceilings over Palmer, more targets, more opportunity. So start those 3 receivers, and then I'm thinking Rashad White's probably the guy that I would put in my flex position. So again, I'm gonna get out of here in a minute or so. We'll do live stream tomorrow evening. I think I'll go live around 6 p.m. Central Time. If you can't hang out for that one, we'll go live Saturday morning before the first game and Saturday evening as well, and then Sunday. So a lot of live streams coming. I'm just trying to get as many in there. Next week, I'm going to be traveling for Christmas, so I'm probably not going to get as many live streams as I can. I might be able to do them on my phone, but we'll see. But either way, good luck tonight, guys. I hope you get all the fantasy points you need or don't need. That works both ways. And yeah, good luck. We'll see you guys in a future show. Peace.